Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are going to do a showcase on Ribrianne. So, out of all of the new Peppy Gal ECA, she's the one that's actually intriguing me the most. Just the fact that she's like a support unit and stacks defense, like she actually seems kind of crazy to me. And my one regret with this character is I wish they would have just went ham. They gave her a 150 skill. I wish they would have given her a 170 skill, because honestly, this Ribrianne would be the ideal leader for Peppy Gals, not Videl. But because Videl's a full 170, she's really the one you need to run right here. But I'll be excited for whenever Peppy Gals gets a 200% lead, because I think there's going to be a lot of fun to be had. And I think this Ribrianne is going to be a core part of that team, no matter what role she's playing, because she does a lot, and she's very, very good, right? So if we look at her super attack effect, well, okay, so technically, we won't look at it yet, because technically this is Brienne, but she's an instant transformation. So you see her passive, it says she instantly, like, love explodes and she transforms. So really, she just goes like this. And I actually wish they would do more characters like this, because what this does is, because she's technically Brienne de Chateau, and then instant transforms, this Ribrianne now just is a perfect linking partner with other Ribriannes. Doesn't matter about the same name update or any of that. She can just link with them, and you can put her on the same team even before the same name update. So that's just such a great mechanic. I kind of wish they did that with more characters, right? That would just be like instant transform. Like they could do it with a Frieza into Golden Frieza. You know, stuff like that would be really cool if they did that a little bit more. I would like that. Actually, what I really wanted for this was during the worldwide celebration, I wanted them to, like that banner unit, LR Final Form Cooler, I actually wanted it to just be a base cooler that instant transformed into Final Form. Because then he would have linked with like all the other Final Form coolers. Like that tech one's actually pretty good. That would have been so good. But anyways, looking at Ribrianne here transform. So she infinitely stacks attack and defense, does supreme damage and seal. So sealing is good for like Super Battle Road. Attack and defense 140, an additional attack and defense 20, and all enemies attack and defense minus 10 up to 30. Per Peppy Gal's category ally on the team. So once again, the attack down and the ceiling, both very good for Super Battle Road. Like, I brought this team in to showcase Chilai and just no item extreme Super Battle Road. Like, super easy with this team, right? Then Peppy Gal's category ally is 2 keen, attack and defense 30. So the fact that she's a good support unit is awesome. She launches an additional, has a medium chance of becoming a super attack. When the target enemy is an attack down or defense down, and then she gets another additional, has a medium chance of being a super if the enemy is sealed or stunned. Or no, yeah, stunned or sealed. So basically her kit's operating on debuffs, which is why she's so good in Super Battle Road. She can basically pop off. So if you got an attack down or defense down, and you have a stun or a seal, she can be popping off 3 to 4 supers in one turn while stacking attack and defense, which is kind of crazy. Now I'm going to look at her in a legendary event because I want to give her time to stack up. So the enemies will be able to be debuffed here and there, but for the most part, as we get deeper, we won't be able to debuff, right? But just the fact that she's a support with stacking attack and defense, I think is intriguing, right? So I did start to put a lot more additional on her. Back in the day, I'd put crit. I would just go all in additional. So if I ever get some more Ribriannes, I'll probably fix her hidden potential and just go all additional on her. There's really no reason not to. Some crit is nice. And then we are going to have Kakunsa and Rosie around because they're perfect linking partners. And they are also 22% supports. So they're going to make this Ribrianne look really, really good here. So of course Kakunsa and Rosie end up on rotation together. So I'm going to actually float off Rosie. I think the combo of Rosie with Ribrianne could actually be an interesting rotation, which we're going to look at in this video, because Rosie also stacks defense. So, like, Kakunsa stacks attack, but Rosie stacks defense. So, I'm going to get Rosie and Ribrianne together and, like, on rotation stacking defense together. And we're going to kind of see how they look in the Legendary Vegeta event. Like, yes, obviously, you go to Cell Max, you go to Red Zone. You just can't stack enough to get past some of those bosses, so that's fine. But for, like, this type of event, I think it could be a lot of fun, right? And I think something that we have to do, we talked about on the podcast this week, but you can't just evaluate a unit on one thing. And I think that's a key thing to remind people of, right? People always say, well, stop comparing everything to Cell Max. Stop comparing everything to Red Zone. And what I think we need to do is just compare units to every event. And we can say, sure, this Rosie Ribrianne combo, I think is going to be really fun in Legendary Vegeta event. I think it's very good there. Super Battle Road, amazing. Like, these Peppy Gales are amazing in Super Battle Road, right? Red Zone, Cell Max, maybe not so much, right? But that's okay. You don't have to be good everywhere in the game, right? So, let's see. Who would be linking better with here? 2 links with Sheila. Yeah, we're going to link up with Sheila here. Throw her in slot 1. Actually, you know what? Sheila is literally going to do no damage. I'm going to put Sheila in slot 1 to, like, dodge out. And I guarantee Sheila will not kill this Vegeta. She's going to put up, like, a 300k attack stat. And then in Ribrianne, let's see what our turn 1 defense is for her. She had 230k defense. What I was impressed with on the right rotation, I think it's Super Battle Road. I had in Ribrianne, like, 300k defense turn 1. Like, pretty darn good, right? So if we had, like, another support there, pretty good. All right, let's watch Chilai maybe dodge out here and just get tankier as she dodges. Yeah, tank up, tank up, tank up. She doesn't even need to tank if she doesn't get hit. All right, she took 1. Yeah, 400k attack stat. I mean, she would have to, like, crit an additional. Yeah, she's doing nothing to that Vegeta. All right, so 2.8. So the attack stat, not crazy, right? Not optimally linked up yet, though. So let's get her linked up first. And once again, this is a stacking attack stat that we have to remember. And also remember, we're only operating on a 170 lead. At some point, this Ribrianne's going to get a 200% lead, I hope. Peppy Gals always seems to be behind the times, though. They really like to wait and not rush into giving Peppy Gals, you know, their proper leaders. It wasn't until STR Videl that they had their first proper leader, which is probably one of the last categories to get a 170. You know, there's still some small categories that still don't, like World Tournament, you know, stuff like that. Earthlings doesn't, I don't think. But hopefully they're a little bit quicker to get on the 200% train. That's what I'm hoping. I would love to see a 200% team with whatever the leader is to be like a ridiculous support or something like that. I'm trying to think, because they've used up some of their big-time Peppy Gal units. What I'm thinking is they come out with either I think a Bulma Dokkan Fest would be like the ideal Peppy Gal leader support. Could be a Kid Bulma. Actually, ideally, I think I would want it to be Kid Bulma, but I don't know if Dragon Ball Saga Bulma counts as Peppy Gals. I think she does. I think she does, because I think the physical one would be an option for this team. So I think that would be, like, what if it was like Peppy Gal, and then Dragon Ball Saga, and then she's the type that would get like 3 leader skills. So give her like Peppy Gal, Dragon Ball Saga, Dragon Ball Seekers, and then a subcategory of something else, right? Or maybe it's Dragon Ball Saga, Peppy Gal, and Earthling for the 170, because then she could be the first 170 Earthling. And then maybe we do like Dragon Ball Seekers for the extra 30, and it could be Dragon Ball Seekers and something else, right? Because they've shown now that they'll throw what is it? The Kid Goku, I think, has 5 categories total, like 3 on the main and the 2 on the 30, and then one of the Gammas got that too. So that's really cool to know that Dokkan's going to do that. All right, so this is a pretty darn optimal turn right here. So, and my Int Ribrianne is full level 10 links, by the way. Forgot to mention that. So full level 10 links linked with Rosie. We're going to be looking crazy here. Actually, I should almost link level Rosie and Kakunsa. I don't know. We'll see. So, yeah, you get her linked up after 1 stack. She's almost 400k defense right now. Rosie's at 142. I know this is crazy. I want to attack with Rosie first and hope that Rosie doesn't kill, because I want to stack Rosie's defense too. Want to make sure I have this right. This is Rosie, right? I want to make sure I don't got my girls mixed up. Yeah, that's Rosie. All right, I had it right. All right, so let's do this. And then, you know, Chila is just so awesome. I kind of want to pull from her copies, but I shouldn't. All right, so 2 mil. That's actually harder than I thought, but this is type disadvantage, I believe. So don't kill him, please. Okay, perfect. Don't additional. Okay, and then 4.5. Yeah, you get Ribrianne linked up proper. Dang, she shot up. So she just went from under 3 mil to 4.5. And she didn't do that naturally just from the 1 stack. That's links right there. Full level 10 links. The power is showing through. And getting double supported as well. That helps. Because we had the Chilai, but then adding the 22% there from Rosie. Very good. All right, so now we're just going to have kind of this pretty trashy double Videl setup here. Just they're smushed together, and then I've got all my floating supports going. But I'm liking this Int Ribrianne, so I want to take her pretty deep here in this Legendary Vegeta event. I don't know if we'll go all the way through. This isn't the most offensive team, so it might take me a while to get to the end here. But when you have these defense stacking units, that's kind of a benefit. You can kind of, you know, as long as the event isn't rushing you along, it's okay to turtle these events and go slow, build up your defense. Yeah, I think they're going to be absolutely fantastic here. something that I want Dokkan to do is I want them, like, for these mainstream hard events like Red Zone, I want them to do more stuff that are longer events where defense stacking kind of comes back a little bit. I want more long events that are of the higher tier of difficulty, because the Legendary Vegeta event now has kind of fallen off as like a difficult event. Now it's turned into a showcase event for me, basically, right? So I'd like something like that. Something I was thinking of, I think Ningen talked about on the podcast, but we just had that that one new event, and it was this where you just did waves of metal coolers. Like, that was kind of cool, and that was fun, right? Like, just waves and waves of these metal coolers, and that actually made, like, AoE units relevant. The thing I didn't like about that was you were restricted on what you could use in there. I want something like that I can use everybody, right? All right, so what do we got here? So we've got, okay, so Rosie's only at 169. Ribrianne, though, 424, just, like, clutch in there. Let's go ahead. I'm going to let Rosie attack first. I don't think Rosie's going to take Vegeta out. Once again, I want to kind of get, we'll call this kind of like a pseudo Rosie showcase, but remember, my Rosie has some links on the table. I might have to get them on my link level team. I know they're like easy 8 already, and they've basically already fallen off, but with this in Ribrianne now, to make her look really good, because Rosie here at 2.2 isn't the worst for how old she is for an easy 8, but she's stacking defense, getting some additionals going now. I don't know. I think this could just be a fun little wombo combo here. And then Ribrianne, 4.6. And this is the thing. Like, she's only going to go up now from here. Now that we've got this set up, she's just going to go up and up and up and up and up. Kind of crazy. Rosie's attack stat won't go up, but her defense should be going up. So I'm kind of excited now, turn to turn, just to see what Ribrianne's going to look like. The thing I like about Ribrianne is, once again, I mean, Peppy Gals isn't there yet. Even with all these easy A's, we need a better leader than Videl, and I hate to say that because I'm a huge Videl fan. Like, I love this Videl. I actually brought her up on the podcast as, like, when she was announced, like, one of my most excited hyped units. Like, I love Videl, and I know she is going to get an easy A one day. She's still a good offensive unit, but you really got to center the team around her. And it's like, okay, in today's game, would I rather do like this Defenders of Justice team or Peppy Gals team with a bunch of supports for Videl, where Videl's the only unit doing the offense? And sure, she's getting guaranteed supers, but she's got to build that up. And even with all of her supers, you know, she's doing 6, maybe 7 mil attack stats, whatever, here and there until you build her up more. Where, okay, I can just bring STR Cooler and do like triple 10 mils. You know, like, if I'm going to bring an offensive unit, I might as well just do that. Because these new units are so offensive and crazy. And Videl's not very good defensively, so not viable for like Red Zone or any of that, right? Unless you get really lucky with their dodges, right? Which you could. Any dodge unit, I guess you could say, is viable, because if RNG's on your side, they can get through, right? All right, so now we got the massive, like, Kakunsa Rosie setup here. We're going to keep... yeah, Rosie's stacking pretty slow. I wish she stacked a little bit quicker. Ribrianne now approaching 500k defense, though. The thing with Rosie being free to play, she just has such low base stats. But you know what? I don't think I've put any equips on her. I haven't. I think I'm gonna link level her, just because now with Ribrianne being a thing, and the fact that Rosie and Kakunsa are support units, I don't know. Like, you know, they're gonna go back to Universal Survival Saga. They could do more Universe 2 stuff. I kind of just, even for funsies, I think I want to link level them and put some defense equips on Rosie. I bet we can get Rosie looking a little bit better here for sure. But yeah, right now she's stacking a bit slow for my taste, even for Legendary Vegeta event. Like, I want to, you know, if I'm going against Final Flash Vegeta, I want to be at least 300k bare minimum to handle a Final Flash, right? But Ribrianne looking good here. What was she? Almost 500k defense there again, or almost a 5 mil attack stat, I think. So what I think what I was getting at, and I kind of cut myself off with another thought, but what I like so much about Ribrianne is she's one of these units that she's viable as an on-rotation unit if you're going to center the team around her, kind of like what I'm doing right here. But what I love about her is she's going to age well because, you know, her attack stat still isn't the craziest. So yeah, if it's like, yeah, that attack stat isn't going to cut it for me, Floater is a floating support, once again, with the condition that Peppy Gals is a main team you're running, which for most people it's not right now, but they did just get a lot of support. The problem with all these Peppy Gal EZAs, most of them are like support units, right? So they're really good side pieces, they're good pieces to a team, but Peppy Gals doesn't really have that like big offensive powerhouse unit. I mean, that's what Videl is supposed to be, right? So I suppose you got it in Videl, and then you support her with these other girls. I do like it for Videl's team though, because a lot of them are supports, and that's what you want to do. So before with Videl, what I was doing was I was running a lot of Defenders of Justice builds because they linked a little bit better with her, and there were like more support options that were viable. But now these Peppy Gal supports, I mean, between Int Ribrianne, Tech Bola, you know, all of these support, Chilai, oh my god, yeah, Chilai, like, you can build, like, the proper Videl team. So, I may have to do another Videl showcase, maybe, because that would be fun to do with the new revamped Peppy Gals, I think is what Videl needed, but I don't know. I wish Videl had a good linking partner. I don't know if she's ever going to get a good linking partner. Her link set's pretty wonky. Alright, so we put Chilai in front of the super, knowing that she's probably going to dodge it, right? I don't know, these turns keep working out the same. Now, Rosie at 274, we're looking a little bit better. It just keeps working out where, like, Vegeta has, like, 2 bars of health. And it's like, alright, Rosie, don't finish them, and then Ribrianne finish them. But the defense starting to look better now for Rosie. Now Rosie's kind of broken through. 274 now is we're looking pretty solid. And in Ribrianne now 556, approaching 600k. Now, once again, part of the reason why we're able to kind of sustain this is because we're not doing crazy amounts of damage. But I mean, 2.5, we'll take it. I don't know. Rosie and Kakunsa, they're just units that you never really had a use for them, right, after their EZA. So now it's kind of fun to, like, have a use. And here's Ribrianne, about a 5 mil attack stat. So she's getting there, right? Slowly stacking up that attack. Looking pretty good. Getting a dodge. We'll take those int dodges, right, from those int units. I'm trying to remember, did she have dodge? Wait, did I read her passive off? I don't think I did. Yeah, I read her passive off. Oh, yeah, I did. I don't think she had built-in dodge, so those were just 5 dodges? I'm going to double check. I don't think she had dodge on her passive. I'm pretty sure those was legitimately 5 dodge. So I don't think I had any additional dodge on her. Alright, yeah, Chilai dodging out, doing her thing. Alright, let me double check. Because that was kind of clutch that we got 2 dodges there, right? Yeah, mine's only level 5 dodge. Yeah, she just gets additionals from her passive, so yeah. Oh, the other thing that we have to keep in mind is, I think it's a Battlefield Diva. One of their links actually has dodge. Yeah, so Battlefield Diva, you can't forget, she's getting 5 dodge from Battlefield Diva, so kind of interesting. Now, I'm not sure how, like, when you get dodge from links, if somebody in the comments wants to let me know, but my understanding is typically if you have dodge coming from 2 places, they're separate procs. So the way I'm guessing it works is she has a 5 dodge from her passive and a 5 dodge from her links. But maybe from links it actually combines. So maybe, is it actually 10% dodge? Maybe. Once again, that's probably a Minato question, but some of these things I don't know. I mean, maybe the data miners know. I still think there's some question marks in terms of, like, how stuff is calculated in certain ways. Mainly, I just want to see, I complain about this like every video this week, but I want to see defense stats like the whole turn. I want to know what the defense is really doing and how it all calculates in. Alright, so by the end of this event, now we've been going slow, but Rosie at 300k and Ribrianne at 600k. We're feeling pretty good right now. We're going to let Rosie here tank type disadvantage. Yeah, I think right after this video, I'm going to slap Rosie and Kakunsa. Kakunsa, I know I haven't really featured her here. She's just going to be along for the ride. But yeah, I think I want to get these Universe 2 girls, like, all linked up. And I think I'm going to throw a lot of defense equips on my girl Rosie here, with maybe some more additional, too. Alright, and then 5.1. Very, very good. I don't know. We'll go maybe another turn or two. It's going to take us a while now, because once again, not super offensive. Although Videl can probably tear through this Vegeta pretty good. Although the first Videl not being linked, although she doesn't have to be linked because we all know how bad she links anyways. Oh, this is going to actually be a stinger right here. Is this going to kill us? This is type advantage for him. Oh, I think, yeah, we just got taken out. Alright, so with that, I guess that's a good time to end the video, but we got a really good look at Int Ribrianne. I don't think there's, you know, you guys would know her numbers are just going to keep going up. This just gets me excited for Kakunsa and Rosie a little bit to link level them, put some equips on. So anyways, let me know what y'all think of Int Ribrianne. I think she's a great unit. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.